Hello and welcome to another Fox vlog, and it is Kickstarter time, as in we're a week in and we have a week to go, roughly. It's a little bit more than 2 weeks, but yeah, it launched. It funded in 7 hours, which is astonishing, and thank you if you happen to be one of the backers. Then it all slows right down, which they say, like I knew this. Kickstarter tends to have a big fanfare at the beginning when you launch. It's very exciting. Everybody is waiting and ready, and they get the email notification and they jump in. And then you tend not to get a lot of activity. Not always, it depends, but typically they slow down a lot in the middle. And I knew this, but still, I'm not a hugely excitable person. I'm fairly reserved. I don't tend to jump up and down and squeal or do any of those sorts of things when anything exciting happens. But Kickstarter is actually quite exciting. I did kind of get quite keyed up about it. And the thing about doing that and the kind of adrenaline rush almost of launching something like this, especially for the first time, and then seeing it kind of flatline afterwards, or even not the flatline, even if it had continued to climb, I think when you have that kind of heightened state of emotion, there will be a swing back the other way. So something I would mention if you are ever looking to do a Kickstarter is to watch for that, because yes, it is a roller coaster, and people say it, but until you're on it, you don't quite know exactly what it means. And if you're someone who is typically fairly reserved and just doesn't get that emotionally, outwardly excited, you don't really think it may apply to you, maybe. I don't know, that's just me. But yeah, it was a thing. It was a huge high. It was kind of a next day of going, oh my goodness, what have I done? And now this thing is funded, but it's also like stalled at the same time, which is a great thing. And then a kind of, oh my god, what if that's it? What if somebody, like, what if everybody cancels their pledges and now it's not a great thing? And then if they don't, then I have to actually fulfill it. And in this post euphoria kind of slump, the feeling of having to fulfill a big creative project that you have now committed to is somewhat terrifying. So the imposter syndrome set in hard, which is not surprising, and I'm all right. The campaign is continuing, and I will be having to pull this whole project together, which I know I can do. This is the thing about creative projects, particularly when you are an ambitious fox and you kind of go, well, I can do this and this and this and this and this. Let's just put it all in a big pile and do the whole damn lot. And that is hard to kind of mentally process when you're kind of looking at a mountain that is sort of bigger than what you can see. And you know that you can take every one of those steps, you can do all of the stuff, but it's still a lot. It's a lot. But the book is written. The Secrets We Save is with my editor as we speak. I'm sure he is doing a spectacular job of it. The illustrations are half completed, so I'm further along than I feel like I am. I guess I sort of want to do more almost. Like I want to put more pictures in it and go nuts on every page, and that's not necessary or viable. No, Fox, do not make the mountain bigger than it needs to be. Given that it's funded, we hit a stretch goal very quickly, which was to unlock the reversible dust jacket. So I have more art to do putting that together, and the art is in progress. If you are a backer, you will see the progression of that artwork in the backer updates. If you're not, you can go to Kickstarter, search for The Secrets We Save or Kel E. Fox, or find the link in my description down below. And if you look on the little backer updates or updates tab, you'll be able to see it too. The second stretch goal is also unlocked, which is a bonus scene, a prequel of sorts with Del and Santo, who are former lovers, now best friends in the main series. And that is a fairly fraught experience for Del, but an important moment for him, at least in the overall story. So that's happening. And now I'm on to the third stretch goal, which I haven't actually technically announced yet. Because I haven't decided exactly what it will be. I had initially thought to do what they call forced edges or four edges, which is where you print on the edge of the paper, so with the bleed, if you know design terms, and then when it's printed and closed, it'll look like a silhouette or a shape or colours or outline or something will appear to be printed on the edges of the pages. Super cool. I'd love to do it. I'm not confident that I have the software to manage that, so I'm going to play with it anyway. Fingers crossed that we will get forced edges or printed edges or four edges or whatever you want to call them on the books regardless of any further stretch goals unlocked. I will be messing around with that, and when the proof copies come back, I'll see if what I'm able to do works, and if it works, then we'll have it. What else to do for a stretch goal? I have some ideas for maps, one for Opisona, which is the world, and one for Akrusi, which is the city in which the Secrets We Save is set. And I have got some sketches of them because I needed to just figure out a few little details to keep consistent throughout the writing process. But actually drawing the maps themselves and making them all pretty does sound like a lot of fun. So could be maps. Could be maps. I kind of want to do more interior art, like decorative stuff, not actual full page illustrations, but just adding little bits throughout the chapters. That would be really nice. But once again, that's going to affect the formatting and the page count, and I don't want to make huge promises about having art on every page and then find that that blows the page count out to double or something, and I can get carried away is what I'm saying. So I think it's going to either be maps or some other sort of bonus content, like a page out of Dell's sketchbook, which could be really cool, or a journal entry of Ursa's, since she does in the first book do a little bit of journal writing. So something like that for the next stretch goal. Could be fun. We'll see. I have also finished and launched a novella. It's another freebie one, so if you're on my newsletter, you can already get it. And if you're not on my newsletter, you can sign up and get it now. It's a novella. It is called The Illusion of Fear, and it is about Dell arriving at Akrusi roughly 6 months before the Secrets We Save begins. So he has just left his agency where he used to work as a magical spy. Huge disaster went down, basically. His partner died, and he has defected, essentially, from an agency that signing up for them is a contract for life. So he's in trouble. He is looking to lie low and wait until some of the heat comes off and the search for him backs down a little bit before he can perhaps move on. And he figures Akrusi will be a good place to do this because they do not have a lot of magic there. Well, they have magic, but not the type that he uses. So his agency is unlikely to find him because they won't be able to use their spy magic. Of course, that backfires terribly because within 3 days of arriving, he gets caught up in a notorious art crime and also arrested and meets a handsome stranger, which was totally not planned. This happens. The Whisperers trilogy was always going to be a romance, and it was going to be Ursa, who is a character mentioned in the Lightless Prophecy, one of Charon's best friends, and Dell. As the best plans do, they go awry. The trilogy, of course, is no longer a trilogy. It is now 4 books, and when Dell first went to Akrusi, he fell in love with someone else. So that was a surprise to me, surprise to everybody, but it's lovely. Santo is a darling character, one of my favorites. He is calm and collected, very good at his job as a detective of sorts, and gives the best hugs. He and Dell go on a fraught adventure trying to solve this art crime that turns out to be rather more than an art crime, and become entangled romantically in the process. So, of course, we know that Dell and Santo as romance partners don't last because once we hit the Secrets We Save, they are friends and former lovers, but this is how they met, essentially, and how they got together, and things carry on after that, as life does. And they become best friends out of it, which is quite lovely. The Illusion of Fear is a gaslamp, romantic, fantasy mystery novella. It is available through my newsletter, so if you go to kellefox.com/newsletter, or if you follow one of the links down below in the description, I'll put everything there, you can grab yourself a copy for free and read it today. I am making progress, excellent progress, on the revision for The Lies We Whisper, which is book 2 in the Whisperers series. I keep saying trilogy. It is not a trilogy anymore. Who knew that was going to happen? We're nearly at the end of the sort of big revision that I need to do to make sure everything lines up and the plot is sort of where I'm thinking it needs to be, and then it will go to my excellent beta readers who will point out all the places where the plot is not going where it needs to be. I'm hoping to wrap those up by the end of the week and then move on to reviews on another story that I can't talk about much yet. Let's just say it's a festive piece. So as the year draws closer to the end, I will have more news about that. I think that is the extent of the updates. I forgot to tell you about Meowgical Tales. I have a short story about talking cats in a fantastic anthology by Pen and Paw International, which is all magical cat stories, and all proceeds from sales of the book go to cat rescue charities. It is a fantastically fun and whimsical piece featuring Minerva and Shiloh, who are outraged when their humans dare to bring a puppy home. Naturally, the only solution is to run away and get themselves into all sorts of trouble. It's full of fun, hilarious cat shenanigans, including cats singing karaoke on letterboxes and launching into hot jazz swing parties in backyards and getting into other kinds of mischief. If you are interested in checking out tiny violins in the cat department, you'll find it in Meowgical Tales, along with a host of other fantastic cat stories. If you're interested in the Kickstarter for the romantic gaslamp fantasy The Secrets We Save, with illustrations by me, go and check it out. If you would like to read The Illusion of Fear for free, also go check that out. And I will be back with another vlog in the near future. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you again soon.